Welcome everyone to the Spit It Out podcast. This is the show where a couple of friends talk about game news and casual gaming while also talking about our game journeys while reviewing some games. So yeah, I'm the host Ramazan together with my co-hosts Yasir
Time.
and Aman,
Yes, sir.
and welcome to the show.
Ooh, it's RE time. But I heard some
But-
news from Aman.
Yeah, some unfortunate news, but I guess we all saw it coming that Highguard is shutting down next week. They announced it on their X account, saying Highguard's final update arriving soon. Thank you for playing with us. And after like the slow decline of Highguard and the studio laying off a lot of their workforce, Highguard is finally shutting down next week, unfortunately. I was hoping to see like a resurgence of Highguard. I'm trying to slow down on updates and work on like revamping the game, but I guess this is how things goes with when like investors are involved. And it's some unfortunate news. It's never a good thing when a game shuts down.
True that. But I believe like I said in a couple of episodes previously, like we are really in the era of like if you don't impress the investors or have passionate investors that believe still in the product, even if it takes a huge hit, you're like bound to see cancellations / game shutting down. It sucks, but I mean, Concord happened, you know. I'm still happy at least Cyberpunk, No Man's Skies are like games you can still look at with shitty launches and still gotten the chance to redeem themselves. And you kind of wish that for every game, but no, so not every game gets that opportunity, sadly. I know Ramazan is very passionate about this since he's our high fidelity gamer, the one that also glazed Highguard so much that he said
What?
it's gonna be
What?
his goatee. So
What?
Ramazan, please, like, give us your feelings about this game shutting down.
Bro, I don't know where you found those. I'm just saying allegations.
Allegations?
Bro, I did not say such things. But yeah, it is quite unfortunate. But bro, like we had a whole episode about it. There were some pretty messed up things. Like the game overall in itself didn't make much sense to me. So it was very fun to play it with you guys. So, but yeah, like they say, it was fun while it lasted.
Okay, that's all.
I'm continuing chewing on my nut.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
okay. I wonder if that's gonna be clipped out of context. But but I thought you would console our brother Aman over here, you know, giving like inspiring speeches or something. But I guess
Yeah,
the game
no.
didn't deserve that for you, or Aman
No.
in that regard. I see.
No, well, we did plan like on playing maybe Highguard like again, like after some time, but yeah,
That's not
unfortunately,
happening. That's
well,
not happening.
Aman did want to play it again, so I would then just join Aman.
I did actually, with another friend of mine, we tried out Highguard because he wanted to try it. That was like the week that they added the 5v5. And we did try 5v5, and it is an improvement on the main game, but it was not enough to like make it stick the landing. Because it's still like too much or too little too late.
But did the 5v5 resolve some problems you had?
I mean, yeah, because it was very much like snowball effect, where the moment someone got like the shield breaker, then from that point forward, it kind of just snowballs in their favor. But in 5v5, there's so many more variables to it that there's actually like more of a game mode during the raids.
Okay.
So like
Nice.
overall, it was still. I mean, part of the problem was also that we were playing like around the time that there was basically no one on the server, so we were constantly playing against like the same 5 people. But still, it's still like has some issues with like balancing, and just it's also the game modes are very confusing, so it does not help. But overall, the 5v5 was an improvement on the main game.
Okay.
I did hear that sentiment also, but like you said, a little too late on that regard.
Yeah.
But while we're talking about Highguard, like for some reason, just popped in my head. How did your marathon experience go? Like, did you guys had the time to play it, or
No,
I did not play marathon, so no.
we had the honor and privilege to play Resident Evil Requiem.
Yes, sir.
And
to be fair, bro,
live obligations.
you had us like sitting here in the call for like over 1.5 hour. Like it was just me and Aman just talking, and like I think it was an hour in, and we were both like, I don't think Yasir is gonna join anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's what life does to me.
The funny thing about that is, I didn't even knew we were going to play marathon. Aman, like I joined Aman for the just to talk, to be casual, like just to hang out in the call, and he hits me up with, "Bro, you're ready for the for marathon?" And I'm like, "What do you mean I'm ready? I'm already laying in bed with my laptop. Like I've connected you to my laptop. I just dropped by to say hello and talk for a bit. I'm gonna sleep." And like, what do you mean? Like we're gonna play today? Yeah, I was like, I thought we were going to play on Saturday. He's like, no, Saturday we're also gonna play, but also on Thursday.
Yeah,
But yeah, then
that was the plan.
Yeah,
that
but yeah,
was
then
the plan.
Yeah.
But you know, something inside me said like, "You're going to bed," and I was like, sleeping.
Ah.
And then I was like, shit. But hey, how about this Friday afternoon? And then I got the challenge like, no, I will play RE9 by that time. And I was like, shit, well then I also have to change my plans to play
Yeah.
RE9 by that time.
Yeah. Talking about RE9, I think our really passionate followers will know from a few episodes back that these two guys had a bet.
Yes,
Sure.
sir.
Whoever would finish the game first would give them $50 from Fantasy Critic. And to be
Yeah.
fair, it was a fierce fight. Like it was already like, oh, you will win for sure, but then some delays happened. Well, it was a neck on neck race, so
I don't think it was ever really a neck and neck race, but okay.
Before let me, shall I say the winner, or let's first relay how it happened. Like Yasser, tell us.
I have to tell it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Fine.
You have to tell it.
So it was Friday. It was a beautiful afternoon, and Aman didn't receive his key yet to play RE9. I did. If I knew I had it like also at nighttime, I would have already played at nighttime as well. But alas, I found out in the afternoon, and I played the game. I was like ahead 3 hours in our race. Then I made a stupid gamble, and I lost that hour. Mind you, by that time Aman was also playing, so the 3 hour lead was reduced to 2 hours lead. But then, well, wouldn't you figure I would have still continued playing till it was like somewhere 2 o'clock in the night, and I was like, you know what, I'm stuck in this section. Let me just, come back with a refreshed mind, only to find out later when I'm waking up that Aman is caught up to me, at least in hours. I didn't know if he reached the same section as I did by that point, but at least in hours I saw that he caught up, and from there on I couldn't play anymore, because like I said, all of a sudden life came crashing into my Saturday, my beautiful Saturday, where I thought I would play all day long RE. It was changed to, no, you also have to go outside and touch grass for a while.
Mhm.
And while I was doing that, I had this message pop up to my fears. And it simply stated, ZR Nightmare. You know, like the ad where they're like, hey, I want you personally to know about this achievement. And I saw Aman posted his credits, that he has reached credits of the game. He finished it. 10 hours and 45 minutes, I believe, on standard modern.
Yes, sir. In-game playtime, mind you, so real time was 15 hours.
50 or 15? Like 1 5?
15.
15. I don't know how you made that jump that RE says we only have 10 hours and that Steam says we have 50 hours. There's something not happening correctly over there, but it was 15
50
hours.
50 hours in 24 hours would be crazy.
For real. But yeah. So at that moment, I just put my hands up, said absolute cinema, and I was hit with the trade offer, like, give me my fucking $50. So that's how it went, guys. I have sadly lost. I can at least take the win that I have defeated it on, I guess, the more difficulty, I guess. You beat it on standard modern, I beat it on standard classic. And yeah, it's all fairs. It's all fairs. I'm not crying or anything about the lost $50. I want to say that Ramazan. I don't know, Aman, did Ramazan bother you when you were playing Ori?
Yeah, he called too early.
You know what the funny part was? I called you, right? And you were like, now you need to call Aman. Because of you, I lost 5 minutes of precious RE time. And I called Aman. And I was like, yo, bro, what are you doing? He's like, I'm still waiting. Like, for what? I just started downloading. I was like, damn, bro. Like, you were already playing, you know, at that point, he already had this delay. Like, I think it was, I actually unintentionally already delayed him because he initially already bought the game, but then afterwards he, like, I told him, like, oh, couldn't you have bought it from our key shop? And he was like, he looked at it and he was like, oh shit, I can save $30 if I redeem it now. And we were like contemplating, and bro, you know, $30 is $30.
You did enough, bro. I don't want to hear your excuses.
He has a valid point. He has a valid point. If he had not told me about it, I would have been playing the game from 6 a.m. already.
Yeah, bro. He literally. By the way, for the listeners, this was all happening in like our scheduled marathon time. You know, like, this man was passionately talking about his plan on just. He was like, nah, bro, I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna wake up 6 sharp. I'm gonna start playing the whole day. I wanna finish this game in one day. And then I'm like, I think it was like I was at the end of my classes, and then I looked at my phone and I see the message of Aman, like, I still haven't received the key.
Yeah. Like I said, I would have probably also played 6 sharp if I knew they did a midnight release. Instead of, like, I expected for us to just get it in the evening, like 7 o'clock, like almost any other Steam game. But it came in, like, I saw that I received my key at 1 o'clock, and I was like, shit.
Yeah.
I could have had hella hours on that game beforehand. Yeah. I will take my loss in pride. Well done, Aman.
Thank you.
Well done indeed.
You fought a good fight.
I tried. If only I knew, I should have just kept on pushing. But without further ado, you have heard the bet. You have heard the winners. Now I leave it to the winner to start their review on Resident Evil Requiem.
All right. So I don't even know how to start about talking about the game. I mean, I'll try to keep it spoiler free. But obviously, I really enjoy the game because I tried beating it in one day and I beat it within 24 hours, basically. The game is split up between two main characters, and they have a very different playstyle to the point where they even have like a different default like perspective. And so with the more horror inclined character, you have like the first person view, like in the more modern games like RE2 or RE7 and RE8. And with the other character, you have the like more action driven and third person, and it adds a lot. It does add a lot. With all the first person stuff, it really enhances the horror, and those are the sections I really enjoy the most from that character, which unfortunately takes away from the action driven parts, which are very hyped, to be fair, but they are very short, and I wish to have seen more of that in the sections where they do like enhance it more. But then later on, when you do have like the part where you play more in the action parts, you actually have to like do more puzzling work rather than actually doing like action stuff, which I felt didn't really fit that play style. But it was still very hype, obviously, because obviously like the story and just all the action parts of it. I feel like that kind of dragged it down. But most of the part, I really enjoyed the game. This game has way more enemy variety than I've seen previously in Resident Evil games, which I think is a very good thing, especially with you having like two main characters throughout the story. So it always stays fresh, at least. Definitely my highlight of the game is the like starting part, so the first act of the game. That is by far the best part of the game, and I really loved playing that part because it just had so much horror in it, and I think that's what makes Resident Evil the best. Like that's what the highlight is of Resident Evil, where it like shines in horror stuff, and that is definitely a part where it shines. There's like a very new mechanic to that part. I'll try to like not spoil what that is, but it is very hype when you do get to that mechanic of the game, and it really highlights the survival horror elements of the game. At first, I thought it was very weird the way that they do it, and it does feel kind of wanky at first, but it really does add a lot, and I think it really makes it more interesting because it kind of, when you do get to that point, it kind of like forces you to like re-look at the map and see like, hey, where have I been? Where can I utilize this more? And I think that's also something that like previous Resident Evil games, like the more of the original games, where you kind of like get a new thing and it makes you rethink the entire playable area. And I think that really highlights the game. And speaking of that, it kind of feels like they took a lot of elements from like the original Resident Evil games, like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, and mixed it more in with the elements of like the newer games, so 7 and 8. And it works really well. And to me, it kind of like feels like it makes me appreciate and like the original 3 games more than I used to, just because of this game. And I'm glad so, because the story of like the original 3 games is amazing. So to have that be highlighted more in this game feels amazing. And I think overall the story is amazing, and it feels like a definitive Resident Evil game. Like this is the most definitive we've gotten since like what the story of Resident Evil 6 should have been, but unfortunately it was not. But my only like critique of it is that objectively, as someone, if you come into the series playing Requiem as your first game, a lot of things will go over your head, and you will miss out on like a lot of important parts of the story, which was not really the case for any of the previous games. Maybe there's an argument to be said for like RE3, but apart from that, most RE games really work just on their own, and any of them could be your first game. I guess also RE6 to a degree, but then again, RE6 has so much going for it that there's still always something for like new players on top of it being co-op. But RE9 Requiem does not really have that, so if you're coming into this series as a new player, then Requiem is probably not the one you should pick up, even though it is an amazing game. And I was really stunned by how good the game looks, especially on my like mid-range PC. It still looked amazing. And I think overall, I would give this game 5 stars because I just really love it. And I will definitely want to replay it again very soon because it's just that great of a game. It's just that one middle section where it's more action focused that might make me less inclined to replay it so soon.
So what will be your final stars you will give this game?
I did just say it's 5 stars for me.
Okay, it is. I did not hear it. But in terms of like action and horror, like do you think they have improved on the balance with this game, or like is it still the same like all the other games?
Wait,
Because we have had this talk before, you know, like so out of curiosity.
So if you look at like the let's just pick like the previous 3 games, so RE6, RE7, and RE8. RE6 very much action oriented and kind of drags it down because there's like almost no horror elements in RE6. RE7 is very horror inclined and is lacking the action, and RE8 is more so action and some horror elements in like the middle parts, and then at the very end it's very action driven. In this game they balance it really well, where it starts off very horror, then you have a short action part which is very great, then you go back to the very deep horror stuff, and then it's back to action, and then it keeps like going back and forth. And I think that really works well because you get like your short section or like your long section where you get to actually like feel the dread of being in this like horror environment and doing like all the horror stuff. Kind of feels like RE7 to that point. Some parts to me were even like beyond what RE7 did. And then you get to like deflate a bit and do like a lot of action stuff and just scream at the screen for holy crap, that was crazy. And you get that for like a very short amount of time, and then it's back to like all the horror stuff. I think it's really well balanced in that regard, and I think the action in this game is better than all previous games.
Okay. And then moving on to Yasir.
Couldn't have said it any better. This is a definitive must play for any OGRE fans. Like, you have to do yourself a favor and actually play this game, because the amount of love and care and just all the teasings and all the callbacks to the previous games it makes is insane. Like, this game is truly like a celebration of the RE franchise, and it does not hide it at all. I want to say that I agree with Aman. The first act of this of the game is the strongest part of the game, and that's not to say that the second and third aren't strong at all. They are also very strong, but like the first one is what I will always remember this game. If anyone just says RE9, I will literally, first thing that comes to my mind is the first part of the game, because the way this game introduces enemies is phenomenal, in my opinion. The amount of times a new enemy has subtly jump scared me in their existence, of them existing during the horror section, or also violently introducing themselves in the horror sections, literally made me jump a few times. And Ramazan knows this. When he watched, there was also a section in the second part of the game that really got on my nerves, that he could enjoy laughing about, seeing my reactions to it. But this game is really great. Like, it's basically RE2, RE7 levels of horror, and sometimes going beyond them. And just think of it with RE7's first-person perspective and how the enemies would like to really jump you from the corners, and RE's 2 resource management level, where you have to actually think of what you want to do. Like, do you really want to alert everyone in the next encounter, or do you really want to waste them bullets? And then everyone knows from just the first trailer alone, as soon as you play Leon, it becomes Resident Evil 4 Remake. And it's like, to be honest, I still don't know which action I liked more, this RE9's action or RE4 Remake's action, because they did not miss with him at all. And I believe Aman could probably concur, but I feel like this is still the best we have seen from him, and that's also mainly due to the factor that we have seen his growth from RE2 to RE4 to, I'm gonna ignore 6, to RE9, and it's like really, it's really well shown in my opinion. Like, Grace is a fantastic character, but what they did with Leon during this whole game it makes you love him even more than you probably already did. I did also have some gripes with it. My main complaint about the game is that it's more on the shorter side. I beat it around 11 hours, and that's mainly also due to, like I said, I lost an hour of progress due to a very bad gamble. So I would have also said, like, it would have taken me also 10 hours to beat it if I did not have that issue, which I don't mind. Like, it's a decent length. I don't have anything against it, but it just, like, I think what also is, like, also a huge compliment, I just wished it was longer, like at least an additional 5 hours to make it in the same length as RE4 Remake. I believe some scenes and a certain ending could have really benefited also from it. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, they really nailed it with this one. From the first like level design, I really enjoyed that. It made me love backtracking. I will say, though, that they have flopped it. If we want to talk about replayability, they have flopped it on the New Game Plus site without giving... well, to be honest, it doesn't really matter on that part. They did it the same way as, I believe, in RE2, instead of how they did it with RE4 Remake and RE8, where... rewarding you, like, most people want to play the hardest difficulty that you unlock after you beat the game on New Game Plus, since you get all your items, but you don't get them in this game. And I kind of hope, if we complain enough, that they will revert that decision and actually also allow you to keep all your stuff. They probably have to think a lot, since Grace and Leon are way different in resource management and how they receive items, without spoiling too much. So that's probably going to be a hassle for them to think of, but I have faith, since just all of the quality of life improvements that they have from the get-go, like the one-time choose the first-person perspective, or the perspectives, and that you can just already set them to what you prefer in to which character, like who gets first-person, who gets third-person. Obviously, Capcom recommends themselves which perspective you should play with each character, and I can agree, because Leon sucks in first person. As soon as you try and do any melee animation, like, it takes you out of it. So I do not like playing with him in first person, but then again, I'm also very much used to him being in third person for me. I believe really Aman has said it all, almost. Like, I can't really think of anything that I would very much like to discuss, other than, like, again, you should really play this game, especially if you loved RE2 and 3, and in that regard RE1. because it's like you're going back to Raccoon City, and Capcom is not holding back on any lore and any teases, as I would like to leave it with that. I do have a gripe with, now that I remember it, I do have a gripe with one enemy, or let's say character. I don't want to spoil them, but I feel like they weren't thought through in certain ways. I want to keep it vague as that, and I know it's going to be annoying for the audience, and I apologize in advance, but it makes a lot more sense for you to like naturally figure out which character I mean, and instead of me like right now spoiling it to you and what I disliked about it. But yeah, RE9, phenomenal game through and through. Like Aman said, breathtakingly beautiful. Like I've seen already people make comparisons on how it looks with compared to the older RE games, and I played it with path tracing as well. So I really was enjoying like the high fidelity that I received. That might make Ramazan a bit jealous. So I shall refrain from talking about that anymore. But yeah, and I also fully agree with Aman. It's not the first entry point to the RE franchise. That would be, you would do yourself a disservice if you were to start with this game. I will not tell you how to play your games. I am also notoriously known to just start at like a bad entry point, but then finally finding my way into understanding the whole franchise. But I would very much recommend either to play RE1, RE2, or RE7. I would say those are the games that are
That's valid, yeah.
that I would say are the best.
If you look at it, we started from RE8.
Well,
Then
Not the best point of
RE7.
entry.
that's not the best point of entry, because when we reached the ending of RE8, you saw me freaking out, and you guys were like, "What?"
Yeah, and then
On top of it, spoiling RE7.
Yeah, and then we played RE7, and we were like, that's why he freaked out.
Yep. So,
I mean, that also, but also just the ending of RE8 has a lot of inclinations for all of the RE franchise.
True. I mean, like, the best way to play it, I think it's as the developers intended it, like, just start from 1 and go up to 9. But yeah, I think this, like, 9 will be their biggest masterpiece yet. So I think it won't, you would do yourself more harm to start with the best and then like work your way down.
what I would really like to say without spoiling, and I know Aman is gonna like side eye me right now very much, but I don't believe they will top this game in the way that they have perfect, like this game really learned from its lessons from especially RE6 in the way how they balance it out, and it's like it's such a perfect degree that I can't really fathom how they can ever top this. Like it, to say if it's gonna be your personal favorite, I feel like that's very subjective. I just feel like everyone will acknowledge what it did, and like like how it learned from all the games that came before it in the best ways possible. But the canonical ending really hypes up the next RE game. And I'm not talking about a remake, I'm talking about like RE10. Without saying anything, because I don't want to spoil anything, because I was literally like freaking out during the canonical ending, and I don't want to rob that from anyone. But just hype-wise, it already makes me wish that we just, like, if they do another RE announcement, that it's just RE10 and not a remake, because I really want to see this payoff. But again, like, I thought RE9 would directly follow up on RE8's ending. It did not. You know, we got Grace and Leon, so who knows, maybe I'm gassing myself up for RE10, even though they might have other intentions with RE10. But that ending, that was something else. I don't know how you feel about that ending, Aman, but that ending was something else for me. I was freaking out like crazy.
No, I completely agree. Like
they-
we can't say anything without spoilers.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like even the slightest thing that I will say will spoil. Like I can't even name any other game. I can't. I shouldn't even talk right now. It's gonna
So-
rob that ending of its.
So the
glory.
only thing we can expect is like RE9 isn't the ending. Is it like the ending of the franchise?
Oh, definitely not.
There will be an RE10.
I mean, it would be weird. To be honest, this game has not really shown any signs of it being like the end all be all. But to be honest, the canonical ending kind of makes it feel like RE10 might be going there. But I also don't really think of that necessarily being also the end all. Like again, it's a huge world. They can, if they want to, they can milk it out, whether for good or bad reasons. But probably in the next RE announcement will be a remake, since that is kind of the pattern that we are used to.
I was about to say, like, you did say that they have usually the pattern of releasing a remake and then like another RE game and then another remake. So to be fair, will you guys complain if there will be a RE1 remake or RE2?
Yes.
I mean, I don't want an RE2 remake, and RE1 doesn't need a remake. It has a perfect remake as is already. That is also available on all platforms. So, like, I mean, you would very much like an RE1 game set in like this engine style, but no, there's no sentiment of anyone really wanting it. Especially the RE1 fans don't want it. They are perfectly satisfied. But again, RE5, Code Veronica, maybe they should do the Outbreak games, since they kind of matter, or at least Outbreak 1 matters to this RE9 game. But no.
But to be fair, will you guys be satisfied with the RE6 remake?
No,
Depends.
RE6 does not need a remake.
Depends. If they're gonna do a whole story change that still makes sense in the setting, then I mean, all for it.
Okay.
I would not be okay with them skipping a RE5 remake.
Well, I believe Ramazan, or at least I hope Ramazan means after we have already received RE5 remake.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It was just like a preference, like seeing your preference. I know you guys like we all liked RE5, but I especially said RE6 because like we all didn't like it. It was too much and unorganized, in my opinion. But yeah, that's why like I would love an RE6 if they can somehow make it better and like more engaging for the story wise without making a whole mess out of it. I mean, it would just be fun, right?
It really depends. Like for me personally, right now RE6 doesn't really matter that much in like the current timeline that we're in, and I'm already like cautiously curious to how they want to do RE5, because I did really love the approach of making RE4 remake a bit more horror compared to like its original version, which also is like, I really like it, since that gives you reasons to play both games, to see both perspectives. But we'll have to see first like how they're gonna do 5. But even then, like, do we want 5? 5 is still very much playable. I don't really have any issues other than like that's when the franchise really went into action. Like it really starts from 6, but at that point I prefer Code Veronica to get a remake, so it's available on all modern platforms. I feel like that game is more deserving of a remake than RE5.
Yeah.
And also like we have also enough of Chris, right? So it would be nice to like have like another OG character return. Because again, to get back to RE9, that will still be my main complaint. That I love Leon and I'm very happy that I got him, but in some ways I felt like if we had one of the OG female characters appear back in this game in a meaningful way, I would have also been more satisfied, since Leon, like we had Leon like a couple of years ago in RE4 remake. Yeah. We had Chris in RE8. We don't have Jill in the game since RE5, and even then I don't think you can count that even as like I would say a meaningful return to the character, since you don't play as her in the story.
Hold up. You're counting RE4 remake but not RE3 remake?
No, I'm not counting RE3 remake, because that's a shell of what the original was. So yes, I'm not counting that. That was not meaningful either. So yes. But I was gonna say RE3, and then also including the remake was her last return. But even then, like that's still like way longer than Chris and Leon had. And in that regard, I really want to see Claire again.
That's valid.
That it's been way longer for her. Like, I know if you count the expanded universe, or I don't know if you call it expanded universe, but just like all the canon movies, like yes, then everyone made a recent return altogether, but like it's a game franchise, so like some of these characters you just want to play as them again. And then yeah, like still I felt like new female protagonist would have been fun to have like an OG female character accompany her, in the same way that even had Chris accompanying him in both RE7 and RE8, or like not really RE7 but like especially RE8.
Yeah.
So what kind of rating would you give it?
For me, and I had to really think about it, but for me it's also 5 out of 5 stars.
Okay, nice.
Like, again, any complaints that I have about the game is either subdued with how freaking awesome the game is and how much it did for me as like I would say I'm at this point like a long RE fan. So like both the action side of me and the horror side of me were very satisfied with this game, to the point like I said, I don't know how they want to top this game. It's really like the combination of RE2, 7, and 4 in the best ways possible.
You guys do say that, but like I of course talked to you guys about this earlier, but it isn't your top one game at the point. Like you guys still prefer. I know Aman said like he prefers 7 more as his favorite RE game, and for you it's still 4.
Yep.
What's the reason for that then?
For me,
continue. No, you go ahead.
Okay.
Winners, Winners goes first. Winners goes first.
For me, RE7 is ahead by like the smidgest of a point, and that's only because RE7 is more consistent in its horror themes. But other than that, RE9 is very close behind.
Okay. So, and for you, Yasir?
RE4 is still ahead, also just by a little, to be honest. And to be honest, I feel like it's going to fluctuate, especially if RE9 gets any DLCs in the way of adding some additional content, or like maybe some things that we haven't seen. But yeah, RE4 is still ahead because I really love that storyline of Leon. Even though RE9 Leon is, in my opinion, better than RE4 Leon, and I need to stop talking because he has so many significant parts in his story in RE9 that made me freak the fuck out. Yes, I'm dropping the F-bomb. I can't hold it anymore. It made me go wild, bro. some of his moments. So I really love it, and it's especially because you can tell he has grown since RE4, so it also helps with that. But RE4 it just has that like that wow factor for me still. Same way RE9 has, but like Aman said, like it does both things, and it does them both good. I wouldn't say it does them both great. They both have like very great moments, and I'm not backtracking on saying like, oh, it's like the combination of RE2, 7, and 4. Like it still is, but because of that, obviously, if you favor one side or the other, or like Aman said, one game is more consistent with its theming than the other, then it kind of causes some frictions in how you would favor them. But for me, RE4 remains my favorite because, like I said, I love that story line the most. I love the length, especially because that was my main complaint with this game. The length. I wish it was a bit longer. If it was longer, it would have probably been my top favorite. Not gonna lie, because some sections could have used an extension that I would have liked. So, like, if it was like RE4 Remake's length, around 15 hours to beat, that would mean for me around 18 hours to beat. I would have really loved it and probably had it over 4. But like Aman said, it's just by a little. Like that just shows you how great and how they nailed this. And I feel like that it's also for us the reason why it's top 2. And maybe for some people, hopefully top 5, because that's what I wish for this game, is if you are a long-standing RE fan, in my opinion, it does a lot for you. It's like a real celebration, and not in like the fan service surfy way, because it has fan service moments. If you play the older games, but like not to the point that you're just like, they're just doing it for the sake of it, right? It's like, oh, finally, it's happening moments, rather than like, they're doing this for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, they never just take away your gameplay and just show you like a cool cameo for like 10 seconds or take away from like the main game to show you something cool.
Yep.
Like it's always within the context of the game.
Yeah.
And just if you know, you know.
And if you know, you know, because, bro, the talk that me and Aman are going to have when we finish the recording is going to be insane. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
It's going to be insane. We hadn't had the chance yet to gush about this game, like all spoilery and stuff. Mainly also because Ramazan can't leave us alone.
Well, down, bros. Yeah. Yeah.
When are you gonna play it, Ramazan? Me and Aman have both given it both a 5 out of 5-star games for the people that keep track of maybe the scores that we give. That already shows like it's already high up in our GOTY Game of the Year list. Just by us two alone already giving it max score.
And for the people that didn't understand it yet, I haven't played it, so,
yeah, so
like, for me, it's still RE7. Although I liked RE8 more, but it's just because I played RE7 and not RE8. But yeah, like I've now exams coming up, like in I think about 3 to 4 weeks. So I need.
So you have 3 to 4 weeks to play the game. Perfect.
Yeah.
yeah, bro. But like when I play it, it will be very fun. I can already I can already tell, like, by the review you gave, that it'll be a nice 10 hours, or I think I won't beat it in 10 hours. I think it will be a bit longer. But yeah,
we will definitely enjoy watching that.
Oh, yeah. Me and Aman are really gonna love. I can't wait. I believe we can't wait till you reach that first act of the game. There are some moments I really need your unfiltered, like, reaction to. Like, I'm gonna like enjoy watching you get scared.
Damn, bro. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I will laugh like an evil maniac too. I will really
you know,
enjoy it.
you know, I honestly give you that satisfaction because you already gave me that plenty of times.
Oh, you're gonna just flip it on me like, okay. Yeah.
And on that note, guys, thank you for watching, listening this episode. See you on the next one.
Let me know what you thought of RE9 if you played it.
Please do, and with that, see ya.
See ya.